mention that in last programs I could not attend because of my busy schedule. But in the morning when this idea struck me that we have to create awareness for breast cancer, signs and symptoms, and we were just forming the itinerary and the agenda for the whole month. That we have to go around and create these campaigns in other places. So I thought, why not start from our own house? We start the campaign from our own house where we work. This is our workplace, and we have a very big women workforce out here. So let us first start from our house. So that idea struck me, and hence I called Swarna. And in a very short notice, our whole team, like the digital team, the IT team, and the administrative team, and the nursing team, they were just very enthusiastic and they came up. And now I think we can just do this program very short notice. So thank you each one of you who have been here. So let us start. I will just start my presentation with one question, right? We are observing breast cancer awareness. We all know that October is the month of breast cancer awareness. Can you please tell me why we need to organize or have an annual campaign? Any of you can just summarize or tell me why it is important that for the month of October every year we are holding this campaign. Can any one of you tell me why October is being observed as the breast cancer awareness? And why there is a need to hold such campaigns? Why do you think? Any one of you can stand up and answer. Anyone? No. See, breast cancer not only affects women. Like in the beginning, Swarna was telling you men may come to the back. No, it is not like that. Even men get affected, though it is 1%. But men also need to know the signs and symptoms. It is very important to understand how this disease originates. Though we don't know much of the answers to this question, we only know the risk factors. So we can work on those risk factors first. We can also know about the signs and symptoms. Because whichever cancer, not only breast cancer, when it comes, it's not very apparent. The signs and symptoms are not very apparent. Mostly it is a painless lump, so it tends to get missed. And this is the reason at our part of the country, this gets diagnosed in the very late stages. And hence there is a very high mortality and a less cure rate. So it is important in our part of the country because if you go by the latest 𝗕𝗏𝗀 data, if you see the incidence in this period 2020, the incidence around 2.5 lakh new cases in a year. But if you go by the 𝗕𝗏𝗀 data, the way the annual growth rate is, it will reach 3.2 lakh in, I think, by 2030. So the incidence is increasing. We cannot do anything to decrease the incidence, but what we can work on is that our awareness regarding the signs and symptoms, so that whichever way the disease is striking us, we are able to diagnose in the early stages. One is the signs and symptoms, and second most important thing is the screening part. We need to know how we can screen ourselves regularly so that any lump which is suspicious does not get missed. So that's why my topic was understanding breast cancer. And we have to be always not alarmed. It's not a time to be alarmed. We don't have to be alarmed of this disease because the mortality is less than, I would say, diabetes and hypertension, if you see. But if you are able to know the signs and symptoms, and if you are able to understand the disease, we will not get alarmed. Because the word cancer itself is such a big taboo that when we utter this word, the patient is like half dead by the time. So this is very important because you have to understand the disease and you have to go back to your family and you have to extend this knowledge to them. Because you are getting the knowledge, it is your duty to extend this knowledge to 10 more others. Your family members, your friends, your sister, whoever it is, so that they also get aware about this disease. So first, I will tell you about the global scenario. As I told you that 1.5 million cases have been diagnosed every year. And it is the most common cancer in women, we all know that. It is the fifth common cause of mortality. And despite the incidence, if we see in the global area, the overall survival is around 85%. So that is a pretty good percentage. But if you see in the Indian scenario, like I told you, 1 lakh cases, now they jump to 2.5 lakh cases, and around 2030 there will be 3 lakh cases in a year. It is the most common cancer in urban area, second most common cancer in rural area, and it is also the most common cause of deaths in women due to cancer. But if you see the 5 year overall survival in India is very low. It is very dismal in terms of 60%. So that is where we need to work on. Those techniques are as good as that of the West. But why are we lagging behind? Yeah, this is because of the lack of awareness. We don't have those signs and symptoms. We are not able to diagnose the disease in the early stages. We are not doing screening. Screening actually entails a very big thing, like it's a self-examination, it's mammography, many other clinical examinations. So those things have to come in the digital media, social media, and word of mouth. It should spread to all women and men, of course, because they will also going back to their wives, to their mothers, to their sisters to tell these things, and for them also it is important. So what causes breast cancer? If you ask me, breast cancer is also a type of cancer. It is always caused, like all cancers, it caused by genetic mistake. A mistake in the genetic material. No 5 to 10% of the cancers are genetic only. Rest of the cancers, like 90%, are due to gene abnormalities which happen as a result of the aging process and the wear and tear of life in general. We all know that cancerous cells are formed because there is some mistake in the genetics. So these mistakes are then carried over and they form dysplastic cells. Once these cells become cancerous, they grow in an uncontrolled manner. It cannot be controlled. They tend to metastasize. They tend to spread. So in short, this is breast cancer. But we should not believe that breast cancer is always genetic. 90% are sporadic. This is because of sporadic mutations. 10% of all cancers, breast cancers which we see, they are genetic. Like if it is there in the family history, like your mother or your sister is having breast cancer, so there is a screening guidelines for those people, because in these people the risk factor of getting breast cancer is almost doubled and tripled. So that is another scenario. But usually 90% of the cases are sporadic mutations. But if somebody is there in the family, you need to be very careful. Suppose in the normal population the screening has to start from 40, for those people the screening has to start from 30. We have to be more and more vigilant. So it is very important to know the anatomy of the breast, because from where the cancer arises we need to know. We all know that it is a soft tissue. It sits on the chest muscles covering the ribs. Mostly it is comprised of lobules. So these are the lobules and these are the ducts. In these lobules the milk is formed and secreted through the ducts towards the liver. Mostly when breast cancer arises in the ducts. That is why the histology is ductal carcinoma. Most commonly we encounter ductal carcinoma, which is there in the ducts. And the other rarer variety is the lobular carcinoma. So these are the two varieties usually we see. There are also other varieties, like patients disease of the nipple, from the skin it arises. But mostly we encounter ductal carcinoma. Like I said, ductal carcinoma originates in the ducts carrying blood to the nipples. You can see here. More clearly they are shown from the sac with the cancer arise. It is confined to the duct. It is known as in situ. Usually it can be found or detected on mammogram. And if it is moved beyond the duct, it will be invasive. The other variety is lobular carcinoma, which arises from the lobules, which is rarer variety. So coming to the risk factors, which are of most importance to us. What are the risk factors? Because this question may be coming to your mind, how do we save ourselves or how can we prevent? Because most often I encounter this question, can it be prevented? There is no way we can prevent it, but we can decrease the risk. How we can decrease the risk? Okay? Work on some of the modifiable risk factors. There are two major risk factors. One is the modifiable risk factor, one is the non-modifiable risk factor. So mostly what I am now discussing is the non-modifiable. Like gender we cannot modify. First and foremost risk factor is being a female. Because females are more prone to getting breast cancer, but that doesn't mean that males are immune to it. Like 1% of the males may have the risk of getting breast cancer. race we see more common in whites. Age, as for the age we see that it increases as the women get older. Usually the age group was 40 onwards, if you ask me in the last 10 years. But as of now, in the OPDs we are seeing women as young as 20, 21, 22 years old. So there is a slight leftward shift. From 20 years onwards also there is a risk. So we cannot just say that a 30-year or 40-year-old women having a lump in the breast, they need to be evaluated. Whenever you have a lump in the breast, it needs to be evaluated. But there is no reason to panic. I'll tell you how you can differentiate from the signs and symptoms. I'll give you some knowledge. So you can not just get alarmed and panic, you can just know for sure that this may be a benign thing or this may be a malignant thing. And then you can visit your doctors or you can meet your doctors for the treatment. Any relative, like I said, any mother, sister. But not only maternal side, even paternal side also there is a link. Like father's sister, father's mother also having, that also has to be taken seriously. We have to undergo genetic processing. Coming to menstrual history, this is very important because the length of the reproductive cycle, it is actually proportionate to the risk. The longer is the length of the reproductive cycle, earlier the menses and late is the menopause. So there is more probability that you will be exposed to the hormones. So there is more probability that you will be getting a chance of increased risk of death. Because it is a hormone dependent disease. This is a very interesting risk factor. It is not actually a risk factor because what we know is pregnancy and breastfeeding are protective against breast cancer. So if there is a childbirth after 30 or 35, so that may be also a risk factor. Or nulliparous women having no children at all, that will also be a very important risk factor. So if there is pregnancy and there is breastfeeding, we always advise that breastfeeding should be done at least for 2 years. It is good for the child as well as for the mother. At least for 2 years, so it is for the, we know why it is good for the child. But for the mother, if there is, like we are continuing that breastfeeding and that pregnancy, so these reproductive hormones are kept under control. So they are not being exposed, the body is not being exposed. So pregnancy and breastfeeding are actually protective against breast cancer. These actually lead to increased estrogen exposure, which may increase your risk from 1.5 to 2.5 times. Like early menarche, late menopause, you have never been pregnant, pregnancy more than 30 years of age, prolonged hormone replacement therapy of more than 5 years, no breastfeeding. So these are the important hormonal risk factors which actually increase the risk of contracting breast cancer by 1.5 to 2 times. So coming to other risk factors, which are the modifiable risk factors, you can work on some of these risk factors. First and foremost is obesity. You need to control your body fat because more the percentage of fat in your body, the more estrogen will be produced in your body and hence the more the risk of getting breast cancer. Second is diet. Fat and alcohol in the diet has to be curbed or it has to be controlled, and more of vegetables, more of green leafy vegetables, fruits has to be included in the diet. Lack of physical activity, stress are also important risk factors which can be modified. Any history of radiation exposure to the chest, sometimes there is a history of lymphoma or any other disease where you have taken radiation to the chest, so that this may also be an important risk factor. And there are other cancers like cancer of the uterus, cervix and ovary which also have the risk of getting breast cancer. There are certain genetic systems. Hormones, as I mentioned, in hormone replacement therapy and birth control pills, there is also certain correlation, but we are still very not clear how it may affect our risk, so it is better to avoid. Genetics, certain conditions that are inherited, which I know there are certain genetic conditions, BRCA1, BRCA2 mutations, where there is an increased risk of getting breast cancer. So, how we can prevent it? It cannot be entirely prevented, but we can control it. We can work on these risk factors like obesity, not having children, breastfeeding, we can avoid alcohol, we can avoid hormone replacement therapy, and we can include exercise in your daily life. So these are some of the risk factors which can be controlled. So what is the good news? After hearing all these risk factors, the good news is 90% of the breast lumps which we encounter in a daily blood test are benign. They are not cancerous. So we should not think that any breast lump or any lump which is arising in the breast is cancerous. 90% of them are benign. So 80 to 85% are benign, and cancer usually if we see very less patients below the age of 30 years, but they are possible. And common causes of lumps are fibrocystic changes. They are seen in 50% of the premenopausal women in the 40 to 50 age. Fibroadenoma is very commonly seen in the young age group. It is just like a breast mouse. You tend to just touch it, it slips. Hence it is known as a breast mouse. So these fibroadenomas are very common in young people. And cysts may be present in 30 to 40 age group. So coming to what are the non-cancerous conditions which may present as a lump and which may not be a reason to worry for you at all. So always you need to go to the clinician and get yourself examined whenever you have a lump. Yes, 90% of the time it comes as benign. So it may be a reason for it may be a fibrocystic lumpiness and thickness which is associated with the women's period. Cysts may be fluid-filled lumps, can range from very tiny to about the size of an egg. This may be a cystic condition. Fibroadenomas, as I told you, it appears in the breast mouse. It is a very smooth, rubbery lump that moves under the skin. When you try to touch it, it just moves under the skin. Occurring mostly in young people. Infections, mostly we see there may be bruise or there may be any infective conditions or boil which may present as a red, warm, tender and lumpy swelling. And trauma, a blow to the breast or a bruise rod can also cause a lump. So what are the warning signs? So what are the warning signs that we can suspect that this particular lump may be cancerous? First warning sign is a lump or thickening in the breast which is most often painless. This lump or thickening, mostly you see it is a painless lump. That is the reason it tends to get missed. Because usually when we have pain, our attention gets brought towards those things and then we come to the clinician. But once it is painless, we are just very carefree and we just tend to ignore it is painless so it may not be cancerous. But actually breast lump usually if you see it is a suspicious one and it is a cancerous one, it will always present as a painless lump. And not only in the breast, it may also present in the axilla, armpit. That is also an important finding. It may also present in the armpit or in the breast. And usually it is painless. This is the first and most important and most common symptom. Discharge or bleeding. Any discharge, serous discharge or any bloody discharge, it should not be neglected and ignored. Next one is change in the size or contours of the breast. Sometimes the lump may not be evident, but you can see that we can change in the size of the shape of the contours of the breast. Inversion of the nipple. If it is a congenital thing, it may be congenital, but once the nipple was normal and you are just noticing since few days it has been inverted, then it is also an important sign. Rusting or change in the texture of the skin of the nipple, that is also another important symptom. Like I told you, like Paget's disease of the nipple that presents as a rusting of the nipple. And redness. This is a very rare variety or rare presentation where the entire breast will be red. It will have a pitting edema, just like an orange skin appearance, just like the purely orange we get it. It just feels and just looks like the skin of the orange. And the entire breast will be swollen. There will be no lump. So is it clear? Yes. Yes. So these are the main important signs. One is the lump, which is painless, discharge, bleeding, change in the size of contours, inversion, change in the color or appearance of the areola, and the last one is redness of the breast in total. So the important question is now women. This crowd also may have early cancer. So this is the most important question. We may have early cancer. All of us we may have. But how do we detect it? Is there any means we can detect diagnose it in the early stages and get cured? Can anyone suggest? All said and done, how do we do? Practical. Theory both है, theory practical का कौन? Very good. So there are some tools. So there are some guidelines by which we can examine. By something starts from home. Just I started from my home. I started educating you all. So some screening methods can start from your own home. Then it may come to the hospital. So that is the breast self-examination is the first one. So screening for breast cancer. Screening is an important tool. The definition of screening is when we are like putting some population, unsuspecting population. We don't know the signs and symptoms. There are some people who are putting it under some tests, which are like this. One is self-awareness, monthly self-examination, clinical breast examination, and mammogram. These three are the most important tests where we can, all the screening methods we can use to screen women at large. An unsuspecting population can be screened for signs and symptoms of early breast cancer. So, first, breast self-examination. It is an opportunity for women to become familiar with their own breasts. It may be done monthly, and it is examination of the breast as well as the other area. This helps us to discover any changes early, and we should begin it at the age of 20. So I think all the present like auditorium, they should start breast self-examination at least once in a month. So when you do menstruating women, it has to be done 5 to 7 days after the beginning of the period. For menopausal women, you have to mark a date in the calendar, and you have to do it every month on that same day. Pregnant women, same date each month. It takes around 10 minutes and it has to be done once a month. And you have to examine all of the breast tissue along with the armpit area and the armpit area. So this is a chart which you can take down. You can take this slide also. I will ask them to prepare leaflets. We can distribute this also. And this is the way method you have to do the breast self-examination. One is in the lying down position, one is the standing position. Lying down position, once you lie down, you have to take the first 3 fingers and the mid part of these fingers. This is the area with which you have to palpate your breast as well as your armpit area. And you have to do it in circular motions as you see in the picture. Lie down, put your left arm under your head, use your right hand to examine your left breast. With your 3 middle fingers flat, move gently in small circular motions over the entire breast, checking for any lump, any hard lump. Use different levels of pressure, light, medium, and strong for each area, and check the whole breast from your collar to the clavicle up to the ribs below your breast. Switch off and then repeat on the other breast. Second is in standing position. You have to stand in front of the mirror and you have to compare the level of the nipples and see whether there is any change in the contours of the breast. That also you have to observe. And also along the armpit area. Axilla you have to palpate. Then you have to squeeze the nipple to see if there is any discharge. So this is a complete breast self-examination. It will not take you more than 10 minutes and it can be done in the privacy of your own home. The only thing you have to get reminded. You have to put a reminder once in a month you have to get it done. Second is a clinical breast examination. This is done by a doctor or a trained nurse. Usually, as per the recommendations, we usually do it annually for women over 40 years. 40 years, once 40 years you have reached means every year you have to get it done. At least every 3 years for women between 20 and 40 years. So as per the guidelines, American Cancer Society, for 20 to 40 years of age group of women, you can do it once in 3 years, and 40 years onwards, once every year. And suppose this is like I mentioned in the introduction, more frequent examination for high-risk patients. So of those high-risk patients who have a documented breast cancer patient in the family. So that means the risk is higher. So we have to start from the age group of 30 years in this population. Coming to mammography. Mammography, as we all know, is a very integrated test. It is done with the light X-rays are used to diagnose any lump, which are usually not felt by palpation also. We can diagnose those kinds of very small lumps, even less than 5 millimeter size lumps. And as per the recommendation, we have to do it 35 years and onwards. We can do a mammogram, but for screening mammogram, we have to wait for 40 years. Women 40 years of age and older should have a mammogram every year. But in case of lumps where it is suspicious, like you have shown it to the doctor, we can get a mammogram for age group of 35 years or more. Usually less than 35 years we avoid a mammogram because the breasts are very dense in those young people. So usually we tend to do an ultrasound for those. But after the age of 35, mammogram can be done to detect any lump or suspicious lump in the breast. So this is a very important slide to mark. Why? Because it saves lives. Mammogram, just like mammogram, is important. Breast self-examination is also very important. And you can notice the size from which you will be diagnosing the lump. The size is important because the size determines the stage. The more is the size, the more is the stage. So here you can see any noticeable lump that is occasionally noticeable, it will be always of the size of 3.6 to 4 centimeters. But if you are doing a routine breast self-examination, even a 2 centimeter lump will be detected by breast self-examination. Occasional mammogram you can detect 1.5 centimeter, but if you are doing a regular mammogram as per guidelines, even a 1 centimeter lump can also be detected. You remember the sizes, this is important because this size actually determines the stage of your disease and then the treatment and the prognosis. So as once we have a lump, now this what I discussed was screening. When we don't have the symptoms, we are screening for early breast cancer in an unsuspecting population. Now comes the diagnosis. Suppose we have the signs and symptoms. There are documented signs and symptoms. There is a lump. There is a painless lump. What we need to do? Suppose we have suspicion this may be cancer. This is very suspicious. Then we have to go for a mammogram, ultrasound, and then a biopsy. Biopsy is very important because from the lump we need to take certain tissue and then we need to examine it under the microscope to diagnose on histopathological confirmation of the disease. Then after that we will do another array of tests to do the staging of the disease. So diagnostic workup includes for patients younger than 30 years, just I mentioned ultrasonography is the modality of choice. Patients older than 30 years, a diagnostic mammo is done, and almost all patients, once a mammography shows that there is suspicious cancer in the lung, then we have to do biopsy to rule it out or to confirm the diagnosis. So breast cancer staging, like I said, for every cancer, not only breast cancer, staging is a very important tool. We need to know the stage of the disease to determine what treatment will be given, as well as what will be the prognosis and what will be the survival of those patients. So staging actually is a way of describing the cancer, such as the depth of the tumor, where it has spread. It is an important tool to determine the patient's prognosis, how many years the patient will live, how better will be the patient's quality of life, when can the disease come back. So these are the various methods where staging helps us to determine what type of treatment, cost of treatment, and what will be the prognosis after the treatment. So it is described by T and M. T for tumor, N for nodes, and M for metastasis. We know whenever there is a tumor, it may spread to the draining lymph nodes. And once it is again more advanced, it may again metastasize to other parts of the body like liver and lungs. So stages of breast cancer. Like I said, the stages of breast cancer for any other cancer of 4 stages: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Why it is important? Because in stage 1 and 2, the chances of this survival is really high. It is like 85 to 95%. But once it becomes stage 3, stage 4, it drops down to 20 to 50%. So this is the reason that in our country, the overall survival is very less. This is because the stage of the disease, when we diagnose the disease, the stage of the disease can be inadvertently very high. Mostly we diagnose those cases in locally advanced category, mostly 3 and 4. So this is the area where we need to work on so that we can diagnose it as early as possible so that the survival will be around 95% for all our patients. So stage 0 breast cancer is one is carcinoma in situ, where it is limited to the epithelium but has not invaded beyond the epithelium. Stage 1 is the tumor is small, like you can see in this photograph. It is very small, almost less than 2 centimeter, less than or equal to 2 centimeter. So you remember that slide when I told you. With breast self-examination, you can even diagnose a lump less than 2 centimeter. So you need to know that with breast self-examination, you can also early detect it at this level of stage 1. So it is very easily detectable with breast self-examination. So coming to stage 2, the lump has increased beyond 2 centimeter, but it is less than 5 centimeter and it is spreading to the nearby lymph nodes. Coming to stage 3, it is like any size tumor which are also going to the supraorbital lymph nodes. Coming to stage 4, where the disease has spread to the distant organs like liver, lungs, brain. So this is the stage 4. So the survival is drastically low in these patients. So coming to the treatment, how to fight it. All of you all know, especially our daycare sisters, they can highlight you how the treatment is done. Mostly they are doing every day. So I'll just summarize. Surgery is an important part, and in surgery I will just highlight you one thing, that earlier we used to sacrifice the whole of the breast, but nowadays with good oncoplastic options and with good surgeries, advanced breast surgeries, breast conservation is entirely possible. So we can conserve the breast with same survival rates. So we did not sacrifice the breast. This is an important point to consider. For chemotherapy, there are many regimens which are non-toxic, which are easily can be given to the patients. Our daycare sisters can highlight how the patients are taking chemotherapy very easily. Once in 3 weeks you can take this chemotherapy. For radiotherapy, that is again an easier treatment. It is a local treatment with our machine, the 2D next machine which we are having. We can treat those tumors very easily without affecting the heart and lungs. Minimal dose, very less dose to the other organs, and we can cure those patients. Breast cancer diseases with even spinal cord infiltration, even brain metastasis, they can be treated and survival can be increased. Hormonal therapy is another mode of treatment where tablets are given as per the hormonal status of the patient. Immunotherapy and novel treatment strategies like targeted therapy are also upcoming, where patients can be treated, only the cancer cells are targeted, and like chemotherapy, the normal cells are not affected. So there are an array of treatment methods, and there's a very big armamentarium of like weapons in our kitty where we can treat breast cancer, but the only support we need from the people is that they should be able to detect it in an early stage, so that the diagnosis is done early and the treatment is anyhow easy. Like if it is diagnosed in stage 1 and stage 2, the treatment cost is also very less, and it is easily very easy and non-expensive on the patients and their attendants as well. So this is a very interesting slide where an Hollywood actress, she told that I'm fine today and stronger than before. I credit to early detection. In 1992, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, which she had detected through breast self-examination. So this is an important tool with us, with which we can diagnose early signs or symptoms of any suspicious